Hi guys, we're having some fun today at the Clay Center with water today. We know many of you love to come and play in our waterworks gallery, and we're really missing you here at the center. But today we're going to do some cool experiments using water, and they're experiments that you can do at home. You might have already done them already. The first experiment that we're going to do involves the fact that water molecules stick together. They're slightly attracted to one another, and they like to stick together. And that ability for the water molecules to stick together is called surface tension. And so if you've ever noticed, I don't know, if you're out at a lake or by a creek, you might see those little water strider bugs that can sort of run across water or even stand on water. And that is possible because water molecules stick together. So we're going to do a fun little challenge to see how many drops of water we can build up on the surface of this penny before those water molecules break apart and kind of spill off the edge of the penny. You can do this at home. I have a fancy pipette here, but if you don't have one of these at home, you can use a straw. This is even like a coffee stirrer. What you do is you fill it up with water and then bend over the edge, and then just slowly let the water drop by, pulling up on the bent over edge there. So that's a way to make a water dropper if you don't have a pipette at home. All right, so let's count these drops out and see how many we can get on the top of this penny. Could be a lot, so hang in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, I got 22 drops of water on this penny before it spilled over. That's quite a few drops of water, and they were pretty good drops of water too. And maybe if you're being a little more careful than I was, you could maybe even build up even more than that. So that's a pretty cool experiment that you can do at home very easily. So if you do those and you videotape it or take pictures of it, share it with us. We'd love to see it. Another cool water experiment that you can do at home is called sink or float. So I have a little tub of water here. I have a 2-year-old, and we love to play this game, especially at the creek that's near our house. We throw leaves in, we throw rocks in, and we decide, are they going to float or are they going to sink before they go in? So I have a few things here. I have a paper clip. I have a block of wood. I have a golf ball. I have a, let's see, I have a crayon. I have 2 dice. I have a lid. And I have a key. So you guys take a minute. I'm going to go get one more object, and you guys take a minute to kind of mentally sort these out and try to decide if you think they're going to sink or they're going to float. And then I'll sort them out according to how I think. I'll be right back. The last object that I have is a ping-pong ball. So add that to your list. Okay, let's see. Just based on what I know, I think that the crayon, that could be tricky. I think the crayon might sink. So I'm going to add it over here to my sink pile. I think that's pretty heavy, so I think it's going to sink as well. So I'll add it over here. Now my ping pong ball, I think it's going to float. It's pretty light. The block of wood, it's pretty heavy. I'll add it to my sink pile. The dice, they're also kind of heavy. I have a lot of stuff that's going to sink. I'll add those over there. My key. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. I think it's going to sink. So right now I'm thinking, oh, and my bottle cap. I think I can get the bottle cap to float. So we'll see. It could be tricky. All right, so now that I have my objects sorted into two piles or two groups, I have my sink items and I have my float items. Let's test them to find out which ones sink and which ones float. All right, let's start with the key. Oh, we were correct. It sunk to the bottom. All right, how about the dice? Yep, they sunk too. All right, let's try a float object, this lid. Yeah, well, it floats, but is there a way that I can get it to sink and stay at the bottom? There definitely is. So if I add water to my lid, now it's going to still float. Never mind. Sometimes when you add water to an object, it makes it sink to the bottom, but my lid is actually going to continue to float. So good for you, lid. All right, let's see. Let's try the crayon. Ooh, the crayon, it sinks, but it definitely took it a while to sink. Let's try that again. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, I have a golf ball. Let's see. All of you golfers know what's going to happen to the golf ball, right? It sinks like a lead weight. That's why when you're on the golf course, you don't want your ball to go into the water because you don't get it back. Let's try the paperclip. Oh, that paperclip sunk. Now, sometimes paperclips can float if you get them positioned just right on the top of the water. And depending on the weight of the paperclip, it can definitely float sometimes. Let's see, our ping pong ball. Yeah, it's definitely going to float because it has air inside of it and it's relatively lightweight. All right, and finally our wood. Look at that. The wood, even though it's heavy, it stayed on top and it floated. Pretty cool stuff. I had it in the sink pile, so now I'm going to have to rethink my sort. Just like I thought filling this with water might make it sink, because sometimes when you fill objects with water, they sink to the bottom of the tub. But this one continued to float. All of our other sinking objects, they went ahead and sunk to the bottom, just like we predicted. All right, guys. Well, that was some fun experimenting with objects that sink or float. Also, by the way, the reason that the block of wood floats instead of sinking to the bottom is because it has air in it. Little small pockets of air are trapped inside of the wood, so it allows it to float on the top of the water. I hope you guys will go around your house and maybe try some experimentation in, I don't know, in the sink or in your wading pool outside when it gets a little bit warmer. But I had fun today playing sink or float with you and sorting out some objects that we thought might sink, we thought might float. Guys, we hope to see you soon in our Waterworks gallery, and take care. Have a great day.